But never mind. Spill.
I was more of a R&B kind of person.
Okay,
Never all
okay.
this American rap. I'm not a fan of American rap, but this
Okay.
girl was like a diehard Young Thug fan, right?
Wow, young
So every day she was always oh, why are you listening to I'm listening to this song by Young Thug. I'm listening to this by Young Thug. So what did I do? I went to that time we know they use Spotify. It was I think MP3 juices. So I
Okay.
went there, downloaded everything, everything that belonged to Young Thug.
Are you serious?
I learned.
Just
I learned.
to.
I learned.
Ah, God.
I think all his songs from 20. I think from beginning to around what year was that? 2017, 2018, right?
Wow.
I think I learned
Like
everything,
every.
word for
God.
word. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Manual, where we talk about tech, business, and entrepreneurship. Today, we'll be talking about how to start your own podcast from the comfort of your home or by renting out a studio if you don't already have the budget to set up your own studio wherever possible. And I'll be doing that today with the host and the founder of Love and Cruise podcast as well as the Garden podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the studio, Emmanuel. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. I appreciate
it. Let's have you
Man,
here.
you're literally making me feel like a big guy now. But I'm literally starting, so no problem. I appreciate.
Very, very true. So starting right from there, you started first with your podcast, right? Then you started
Yes.
your dating matchmaking series. That's with the Love and Cruise show.
Yeah.
So why the pivot?
Actually, starting with the Garden podcast, I wasn't really getting what I wanted.
Okay.
So because I was very serious about the Garden podcast I just chatted up my guy in school like, okay, this is what I want to do during our leisure time. He was like, okay, no problem. We can start up something. I started dropping videos and people were not really watching it.
Okay.
And should I say thank God that my phone got spoiled, because that period my phone spoiled. That was like when I was trying to regain myself. I started thinking, when I get the phone, what do I start? So I was like, okay, I was able to get the mic. And I told my guys, let's just start matchmaking people. You get? It sounds crazy, but people will actually like it because it's, I don't know, but imagine bringing two strangers now, like we've not met before. Let's see how we can actually talk, you get? So we started it and the first episode was wild. Like, when I say wild, I don't mean the normal wild everybody thinks we get. So it was like, wow, I love what you are doing, keep going. So like, okay, actually this is what I wanted. Even though we never wanted it to be that big.
Yeah.
But for a start, the accolades and all of those.
Yeah,
like,
the support was just huge, and you're like, this can actually.
Yes, you get what I'm saying. So that was how we started Love and Cruise, and man, since we started, it's been a roller coaster.
So how did you come up with your team? Because for me, right, the hardest challenge to scale for me right now is garnering support, right?
Yeah.
So as a beginner, you're the one doing your editing, your thumbnails, your marketing and everything. So it takes a lot to first of all market your podcast on social media.
Definitely.
That's breaking down into reels for shorts and then also for meta reels. But then if you're the only person breaking your reels down, only person editing your full podcast, responsible for marketing, searching for credible guests to come on. So how did you inspire that support, right, for your friends to come and join you?
Okay, so basically I knew that I was not able to do all this thing all alone. Because most people, they're always after, I don't want to start because I don't have money. But me, I feel sometimes to tell people you can start anyhow. I just called my guy. I have a guy, Polly. Shout out to Polly. Polly is like in charge of the editing and videography stuff. So I told him, okay, guy, you are good at this. This is what I want to do. Actually, we are starting. I don't have money, but at least you get the exposure and all of those. Guy was like, wow, super cool. I have a guy, Rax. Shout out to Rax too. He does thumbnail for us. He does it for free.
Okay.
Also I have Anekeme. Anekeme too can also video and also Didi. Actually Didi, I just saw her stuff on Facebook. Then I chatted. I was like, okay, I love what you are doing. If you don't mind, will you be part of our team? The girl said, wow, that's cool. So I feel if you can actually like converse with somebody, be like, this is what I want to do, and you make them see
the idea
and like see what you can bring on like in 10 years time, definitely that will be much easier for you because you cannot do everything all alone. So I reached out to my guys who were like, wow, we love it. You get, and when these people are coming and they see my guys, they'll be like, wow, you're the one in charge of this. Well, I like what you're doing. So they're also getting their own flowers, you get. So that makes them feel big. That's literally what I did.
That's actually very nice and crazy.
It actually sounds simple, you get. Like I'm saying it is that, but it's not always easy because
there's a lot more that went into it.
Yes, there's a lot more. Like,
so talking about the matchmaking series, how do you get the models or the influencers that come onto the shows?
The funny thing is that I don't go out. I'm just at home. So literally I've been on Facebook.
Okay.
Should I say Uyo space, because for now we mostly deal with Uyo people. So I understand the way Facebook works to some extent, and also know some people. So the first episode I used Ndomo. Shout to Ndomo too, and Glandus in my school. She's a pretty babe, no cap. So I was like, Ndomo, okay, because I know Ndomo has this, like, Ndomo is a big guy on Facebook, right. You get. So I was like, okay, if I use this guy, and my stuff will blow up, you get, because this guy posts and the next 5 minutes you've seen like 30 reactions, 50 reactions. We come like, okay, this man, like, you get that. That's like a strategy.
So it was like a micro influencer. So you are leveraging his audience.
Yeah, something like that. And me, I know that definitely people will like me. In fact, when I'm starting something, I don't start with a negative mindset. So like, even if this thing is trash, I just know people will like it. So that was like the mentality I used, and of course it paid off. So that was the stuff. But before I invite you for my show, you must be fine. You get, like, everybody
someone appealing.
Yeah, something like that, because there's a way YouTube works. There's YouTube Studio,
okay,
whereby you can go and search like where people watch your contents from.
Yeah,
actually, people watch my contents from UK, from India too. So these people, they are not only acquiring people. You also have to make these people fine. Your stuff too must be like appealing. You get, even though it may not be really, really, really dope. You get like all these big guys. Shout out to them, but at least you must try. So that's it.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So with your did the inspiration for Love and Cruise come from personal experience?
At some point I would say yes, because actually in secondary school, people just do that. I like catching cruise. Like, that was my slang, like, on a cruise. So I was like, okay, love, because personally, these people coming, everybody just have this. In fact, the way we were created to find love. Leave all these things people will be doing, like, hard guy, bro. In some way, you feel something. It's like, okay, if these people are coming, there will definitely be a connection, because I cannot be talking to you for like 5 to 7 minutes and we've not felt anything, you get. So during that connection, you may feel me, you get, like, as per the love may start. But on the other hand, you may actually be catching cruise. So that was just how the name came. I was like, okay, it's not bad. So I told my guys and they were cool with it. So that was just how the name. It's not like Start Deep, Love and Cruise. Very, very simple.
I thought it was like breakfast that motivated you.
I've been serving breakfast. I've been serving breakfast, but I didn't draw motivation from that.
Play a big part in.
Yeah. I did not play a big part.
Okay, talking about that, right? Would you say that niche is a very profitable niche? That's the dating niche.
Definitely. Anybody that wants to start go is very, because people just want to find love. That's just the stuff. People just want to find love, and at the same time, people want to catch cruise. And at some point, I used to feel, why is it that it's not somebody doing this thing so that you can also call me? Because, guys, these people, they are literally happy. When editing the video, you see the way they are laughing. Me, I'll be like, so is it that me, I don't also deserve this kind of thing? Because it's super cool, especially when they don't know themselves. Because if before bringing them, I need to go through their Facebook, how often they interact. And most times, these people, they may not even be friends on Facebook. So I'll be like, okay, I'm quite sure that there's no way these two will know themselves. You get, so that type of feeling, I've not known you from anywhere, and you're just coming out and we start gisting. It's super cool. So it's very, very nice. Profitable. Very, very, very profitable.
I think I want to podcast, that is the Entrepreneur's Manual, and then the second one is not particularly owned by me. It's a group project with my guys from college. So that was the Sigma's podcast. It's more of lifestyle and relationship cruise kind of stuff. So our first episode was based on relationships, right?
I've watched that episode.
Yeah, and I think like it just flew since then, right? And that's my best performing video to date. So that really gave me the idea that the relationship space is like a very big
because
niche.
Everybody will definitely have something to say. In one way or the other, we've been in a relationship. Is it cruise relationship or 1 week relationship? So everybody will just have something to say.
What would you think is that thing that really drives people to want to be a part of other people's love story?
Because, guys, it's just imagine me playing a role in a lady's life, even if it's like 1 month. the two of us will be happy. The lady is literally, because leave the crazy things that happen online. Deep down, love is sweet though, I swear. Love is very, very good. So at least in one way or the other, this is your toxic partner, in quotes, once made you happy. So for the fact that you both were happy at some point, at least it's a story everybody want to share. Basically.
I'm still trying to get used to that, right? Because if everybody's so interested in relationship, how come we still have a lot of relationship that don't work out, right?
That's actually crazy, right? Because so far, the people I bring on my show, I don't think anybody has like started a relationship. But me, I'm not even bringing you guys to like, okay, I'm coming to give you a babe, because most people that just will be like, oh my god, I want a babe. But actually, you people work out. That's like a win-win for you. But literally, we just want to see how people will like, how do you bond a connection, with someone you've not met before. But eventually, if you guys work, kudos to me, because
based on your show, what was that main factor I think connects these two people?
Okay. Should I say when it comes to setting questions, because we literally come up, I and my team, we literally come up with questions for the two of them, question for the guy and for the girl, and these questions we make it in such a way where it can spire up something. It's not like a normal question like, have you eaten? You cannot be asking me, have you eaten on a, you get, so all this type of questions that can lead, it's just like one particular episode, the girl, one of the questions was like, the craziest thing you've done for your ex. That's not the type of question you can just answer instantly, because you'll be like, I gave my ex necklace, so how did you give your that's like a conversation you get. So you just have to bring up questions that can make these two converse. Open up, like, you just have to be real, you get, something like that. Because deep down behind people will be like, wow, so you actually did this for love. So some people will be like, okay, even though I've been alone, I never tutu mumu like that, but never mind, at least it's like one in a lifetime experience.
So personally for you, what's the craziest shit you have done for love?
The craziest thing I've done for love, to be honest, the craziest thing I've done for love is there's this babe I like, Sha. That was when I was done with secondary school. So we're like, okay, how far are you free? Let's link up. And personally, I like this nature, like greenish. So we wanted to use Christmas Village. So literally, I went out and like it was raining. So I was like in the rain waiting for this girl. This girl came and she was like, sorry, I should not get upset that she was with a guy, and in some way, remember that guy was like the guy she was with. But the girl is actually funny as per. She wasn't really feeling that guy. You get, she was just with the guy because of, I don't know. But deep down she was like, okay, I wanted to. But for the fact that you made me stand in the rain, it may not be crazy for other people, but God, I knew how I felt that day. You get, like, just being in the rain for like, and there was literally no place for me to stay. So I was just standing there. So like, God, I'm done with this. I'm done with this shit. I'm not going back again, I beg, because you know that people even experience, should I say, bigger stuff than this, but for me that was a lot on my own shoulder. And for a young guy that is trying to grow, no, I don't want them again. So I think that's the craziest thing I've done.
Why I asked that question, when you mentioned you said your guest mentioned necklace, and I was like, if I said I mean Mumu pass for this game.
that's even. I'm not like,
nah,
I'm not here to like
tell you
what people did, but you should watch, especially episode 2. God, because I'll be like, God, like, what are people like this? Forget the fact that actually some people catch cruise, but there are some cruise that are too extreme. There are certain things I cannot do to a lady. But when you hear that someone did this too, I'll be like, oh Jesus Christ, like, why? But and the funny thing is that they always find babes. Why are they doing this thing to find babes? You get?
It's just a how do I even put it, right? You want to connect with this person, but I think when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
We had this pre-idea that we needed to be more like this person for this person to relate to us. So we tended to do the things that they expected from us, or we feel they would have expected from us. So I remember this one time, I think in my SS2, SS3, right?
Wow.
There's this girl. She.
I know this story will be funny, but never mind. Spill.
I was more of a R&B kind of person. Never all this American rap. I'm not a fan of American rap, but this girl was like a diehard Young Thug fan, right?
Wow, Young Thug.
So every day she was always why listening to him? I'm listening to this song by Young Thug. I'm listening to this by Young Thug. So what did I do? I went to that time we know they use Spotify. It was I think MP3 juices.
Okay.
So I went there, downloaded everything, everything that belonged to Young Thug.
Are you serious?
I learned.
Just
I learned.
to-
I learned.
Oh,
I think all his songs from 20. I think from beginning to around what year was that? 2017, 2018, right?
Wow.
I think I learned
Like
everything,
every
word for
God.
word.
It means I'm still a novice. You know? I'm still a novice. Be like I'm going to enter a relationship next week.
And then all this night you spent chatting with this girl, right?
I
Staying
guess.
awake after 12.
Definitely
You guys are
now.
sleeping
Of
by
course,
3.
we all did
And
it.
then
We
you
all
are
did it.
think about it. How many of those people do you still talk to today? None. So I
Sad.
just stopped. Like I just thought about it. I was like, Jesus Christ, what have I
What-
done with
I
my
said,
life?
what was I doing?
What
I
was
get
I
you,
doing?
I get you.
And like the girl don't even send me even after I they've not
But-
sent me again.
But there's something I feel in one way or the other, we actually need these things. You get, at least you just have to experience this kind of thing when you are
Yeah.
much younger, because at least I have a story to tell people. You too
Yeah,
now,
it's
you
quite
have
fun. And
definitely.
most people are always like they don't, if they say how many times have you dated, right? They don't want to mention maybe people they dated from secondary school, right? And maybe year one kind of days, they'll be like it was not serious.
not that.
But I think even when you were there in secondary school, right? For you at that point in time with your level of maturity and intelligence, right? That was your understanding of love.
Yeah.
So however you communicated that's what you understood love to be. So even if you dated someone in JS2, JS3, for you at that point in time, that was what love meant for you. So believe it or not, that person still counts, right?
I get you, but you know, there's this. But personally, I'm not that quick in asking ladies out, because what's always on my mind is that I don't want to keep adding. It's not that my line is that long. You get, but there's this babe I was talking to. She was like, "There's this guy she dated on Friday, and they broke up on Monday." So let's be honest, we look call that a relationship.
How?
You know, this secondary school stuff. On Friday we're chilling, then on Monday something happened during the weekend, then on Monday like, okay, I'm done. Like that's like 3 days. I mean, 72 hours. So we still call that a relationship.
How does that even work? I mean,
It's actually crazy.
personally, I don't like sharing my personal information, but like for me, I personally have a very, very long talking stage. All my friends know this and they make fun
Definitely.
of it, right? Because you read things on. I think this one I haven't read one, right? This person was this lady was like her fiance called off the wedding when he realized she was from this particular tribe. I can't remember the name. It's not a common tribe I'm used to. And I was like, how did you date someone that did not know where you are from?
I get you.
How did you date someone?
You know,
So,
most
yeah.
people, they don't really care about this, but I feel love general. It's not like I'm a love therapist, but there's more into love than just chilling and, you know, shawarma, ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay, you really need to create this bond with your partner, because like, even if, just like me now, even if I'm to be with a girl, I have to know where you're from. I have to know like where your parents stay. It's not like it's that deep, but at least I have to know. So imagine a type of situation whereby this is your fiancé, and once I'm your fiancé, like I'm your potential partner, you get, and you don't know. It's actually wow, sha. People need to do better. I swear.
Okay, we are still on how to create a profitable podcast under the love niche, right, and dating niche in particular. So what's the future for Love and Cruise?
Future. To be honest, the future is money. Okay, but that aside, you know, when you are starting, you don't really have to focus on money. But for the fact that people love what I'm doing, so gradually we are getting there. I'm even like, I'm actually talking to big guys to get like, okay, you love what I'm doing, so if you don't mind, can you come around? But I know deep down it's not easy, because for now we are using open spaces, you get, whereby you are not charged. Because the type of ideal date show I would love to portray this type, whereby you can rent a place, like there's food, or even if you want to put them on a shopping spree, sponsored by you, or maybe you have sponsors, you get, that's actually cool. Like,
that's you upgrade, right?
Yes, you upgrade like very, very, very,
so,
very.
For example, someone like Mr. Beast, why we watch his videos is because it's extreme. We are always watching like, what is he going to do today?
Yes, you get.
Is he going to bury money under the water?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we don't just want to see you sitting on a food date, right? Experience something together, right? There should be a trail. So that's a very very.
Because imagine if, like, you know, and most people, one thing I learned about, in fact, before I even said, okay, I want to go into YouTube, I studied YouTube. And one thing I noticed was that, you see thumbnails do lie a lot, because there was one I saw how to like how to have 10,000 subscribers on that 3 minutes, and you watch the video and they literally don't show you anything. They're just telling you the normal algorithm stuff, you get. So, but me seeing that video now, I want to watch it to the end. So indirectly, person has like marketed himself. So that's just
for YouTube, right? Most people underestimate their thumbnails. Thumbnail is, your video is not even the most important part about being a YouTuber. Your thumbnail is. Because, for example, that video you just mentioned, how many times do we open a video and it did not deliver on what was promised in the thumbnail, but we clicked it anyway? Why did we click it? The thumbnail. So the thumbnail is supposed to... Mr. Beast, I heard he paid his thumbnail designer more than his crew members.
Can you imagine? Because that's like another level of creativity.
That's the main thing that brings people to click his video.
And if you notice, Mr. Beast's thumbnail is always inspiring.
It's something else.
It's very crazy. As in, you definitely want to watch.
And then, though I say the thumbnail is also there, but then production should also be key. I don't know who edits his videos, but those guys are wild.
To be honest,
those guys are wild.
They are good.
So a lot goes into starting a podcast, right? So you're looking at your thumbnail. Your thumbnail should be high quality. It should be sharp. It should have a strong promise that will make someone click through. Just something very controversial or crazy that I ask myself a question. So I have this habit of watching a podcast, or just watching listening to audio podcasts on Spotify or YouTube, right? So this guy's thumbnail started with "Don't start a business." That was the thumbnail. He held a card, and on the card was written "Don't start a business." And I was like, why should I not start a business? I asked myself a question. As you want to get people to invest just a little bit more into whatever you're doing. So I've asked myself the question now, why should I not start a business? I click in the video. So now he's explained the fact that how do you want to start a business without actually having startup capital? That your business will crash. You want to start a business and you are depending on investors to keep your business afloat. So he gave me something of value in the beginning, and was like, this video, I still have 10 minutes more. What else can he tell me? I've already gotten the value I came here for. So I still watch to the end. So that's how it works, right? Your thumbnail should get people to click in. Definitely. There should be something immediately hooking that will get these people to retain that viewership and then still watch your video to the end. And then sound is very, very important. If you're going to look into movies, right? If you think about it, I think what differentiates a low budget movie from a high budget movie is actually the sound engineering. So something crazy I just discovered of recent during the Game of Thrones. I was watching the Game of Thrones behind the scenes. Like the VFX and SFX of the whole movie, the sound effects and everything. Do you know they were not recorded with this shoot?
Wow.
Like people walking, horses walking, or every single sound that you are hearing in the background was not recorded while the normal shoot was going on. They added all those things later.
Nice.
And I'm like, how?
I get now.
I was watching this thing and
everything is
the budget for that movie should have been crazy, because like they had a different crew that just makes sounds of people being stabbed, sounds of horses walking, sounds of people in the market. Like they just gather in a circle and they start making this sound of people being burnt by fire. I was like, so this is what goes into a good movie, right? It's not just you are just seeing this movie, but you have to appreciate the work that goes into it. So the sound is also there.
That's why sorry to cut in, most times I like watching BTS behind the scenes of either music video or anything. If you see what they do, you'll be like, God, how did I fall? It's just like BTS of an horror movie. I mean a horror movie now. If you see it, to be like, so this was what actually triggered me, but you may literally see that nothing really happened there. You get so. Also watching
horror movies are where you can see it most, right?
As in,
take extract the background music from any horror movie and put any upbeat or inspirational beat. That scene will not be scary. So if you think about it, the sound is what gets us invested into whatever we are watching. So sorry for cutting short. We're going to talk about behind the scenes as well.
Yes, behind the scenes, because I just love creative people, to be honest. If I'm conversing with you and I see that the way you think is mind blowing, like I will just flow with you ASAP, because most music, let me shift into music video directors now. You get me, definitely, whether it's music or you are drawing or anything, I just know that you are a creative, you get. So I'll draw something from what you do and look for a way to blend it into what I do. That's literally how I learn, you get. So most music video directors, if you see the way these guys bring up their crafts, like the BTS, I just love. I don't even know how to explain it. Someone like TJ Omori, shout out to him, or Pelix. Lately, I've been following Pelix. You get, you should see Pelix BTS, like the way he handles the whole thing. Always like, wow, like shout out to this guy. Guy, you are so good. Like, receive your flowers. You get so. Man, but on the other hand, if you don't want to be falling for their prank, I advise you not to watch BTS, because there's a way you watch BTS and you get angry with yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
why did I fall?
I swear, why did I fall? Why, like, why was I crying during this particular scene? When you see that, literally nothing happened.
Yeah, after the scene that made you cry, those actors actually laughed. They made a mistake. I feel you.
That's so wild. Yeah.
So continuing from how to scale your podcast, right?
Yes.
So I think you should also consume from other creators.
Definitely.
You have to learn from the best.
You can't be telling me you have a podcast and you're not watching other people's podcasts.
I personally have a low attention span. So I won't say I watch a podcast of over 1 hour.
Okay,
I can break it down into my mornings.
Yes.
So when I'm
definitely.
commuting from house to work, and then I'm on my way back, that's when I really watch podcast episodes. So, but on my own, I don't just sit. So I try to consume my content in that way for a purpose.
Yes.
So when do I want people to watch? So I have a target audience. I have a demographic I'm targeting. So you just need to look at all these things and then consume from other creators. Watch other podcasts. Start a podcast. What made you to stay after the intro and still watch Mr. Beast videos of 1 hour, 2 hours, and you're like, you watch these things and how did I watch 2 hours video and I did not feel time went by, right?
I get
so
you.
Find that thing. Is it the editing? Is it because there's always fast paced action?
Yes.
Is it because animations are always popping? Is it because the sound engineering is always changing from beat to beat, helping me establish a feeling from wherever I'm watching, right? So whatever they are doing, try to bring that in. And then I strongly advise you have a job even when you're a creator.
Actually, especially if you are starting.
If you're starting, you need something to pay the bills. Your
True.
YouTube, truth be told, right, your YouTube won't pick up in a year.
As in,
maybe in a year you can have small brands collaborate with you and then have something from there. But for your YouTube to stand alone without sponsors, right, it will take at least 2 years.
Definitely, it's not.
There's no way about it.
If you know any small creator out there, in one way or the
Support
other,
them.
as in support them, is not easy.
It takes time.
It's not easy.
YouTube, there's no where I would say that you can start unless you have money. If you have the budget, you can pay for people that already have an audience.
Because of YouTube, say I had to start reading books about patience because I actually had to start deleting some. I had to start deleting some of my videos because, like, you go back. I started YouTube, I think, since lockdown.
Okay.
You get, so you go back to your video of like 4 years ago, and you see like 15 views. Be like, why? Like,
yeah.
But YouTube wants you to still keep creating. That's just how the algorithm works. If you want the algorithm on YouTube to favor you, you have to be posting back to back. Definitely, in a week, you're supposed to post up to 3 times. But deep down, we don't really have that time because me, I'm a student. I have to be like reading my books and all that stuff like that. But in one way or the other.
Yeah. So based on that, right, there are other ways to go about it.
Yes.
So shorts are the short have took pace last year. So we saw a higher engagement for reels and shorts, and that really boosts channels.
Yes.
So if you don't really need to be posting 3 times a day, a week rather, you can post once and then break shorts into the week.
Yes.
So that can still help the algorithm to know that you're consistent. YouTube is like a job, right?
Yes.
Before they pay you your salary, they need to know that you are coming into work, you're consistent.
And you cannot whine
you cannot whine YouTube. you don't cheat the algorithm. You can't cheat the algorithm. And then for the algorithm to move faster, you still need to look at keywords, SEO.
Yes.
Your channel SEO matters a lot. So
I never knew about
descriptions, you need to include keywords you want people to know. So for an episode like this, we are talking about podcast relationships, we are talking about how to grow on YouTube, we are talking about tips on how to scale as a creator.
Yes.
So everything I've mentioned now is something you should include in your keyword. Because
definitely.
Whoever goes to the search engine results page of this video will be in the suggestion.
True.
They can also search for something else and then it just pops up on their feed.
Yes.
And then you also need to watch from other creators.
Definitely.
Try to establish your, how do I put it, remain in a niche.
Yes.
Because YouTube recommends your videos based on similarity to other videos.
Definitely.
So if I'm watching Honest Bunch, most likely the next video that will be there will be another podcast.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that YouTube can establish that whatever you are posting is a podcast, right?
Yes.
So there's a new feature now on YouTube where you can actually publish your podcast under the podcast section. So now the algorithm knows you're actually posting a podcast, and then if people go on YouTube podcast, there's a separate platform, they can actually see your podcast listed there.
Like
and then you need to look at posting times and then create content for a particular target audience.
Let me say something about posting time. It's like posting time really favors you if you are posting in the night.
Okay.
That's just like what I've noticed, because when I started my show on YouTube, I used to post by 12 midnight. You get, so there's this particular episode I said, okay, let me try posting in the afternoon. The numbers were also swelling, but it wasn't swelling like other episodes. I don't know why, but that's just what I've figured out. So ever since that episode, I was like, okay, from today's food, I'll be posting in the night. I don't know why it works.
I know the good thing about YouTube. YouTube is this kind of platform where you as you said, you started on YouTube during the lockdown, right?
Yeah.
You can actually a video you posted during the lockdown can start picking up this year.
Definitely.
That's the good thing about YouTube.
Definitely.
Whenever you post, it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
Unlike Facebook and then other platforms. If you're posting on Facebook as a creator, if you're a Facebook creator, when once you have created your content and it does not fly, don't think about it. Don't over exaggerate the reaction and everything. Just move on, work on the next piece of content.
Yes.
Because when once it's like past 3 days,
yes,
the algorithm has past 3 days, the algorithm has already started moving on from your content, so it does not really matter again from that point. So YouTube is that good. You don't need to
be posting like back to back.
If a video you posted in the past can still pick up now.
I can even pay, like, YouTube is like they accumulate your revenue, you get. So if you posted a particular video and the money you got from that video wasn't that big, and let's say 3 years later that video now swells, you can still earn from that video. So that's how YouTube works. And it's actually mind-blowing.
And then something just came to my mind. As a YouTube creator, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to really focus on monetization money.
It's true.
Monetization does not pay you that much. Most people think being monetized means you start cashing out $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. YouTube does not pay you that much for monetization unless your views are stacked that high.
Yes.
So what you should focus more on is brand deals.
Yes.
So get actually
I noticed that of recent too. I just noticed it, should I say, last month. So that's why lately I've just been like, I don't wish any brand can just see my stuff and be like, wow, we love what you're doing.
Yeah, the brands are people are always watching. If there's anything I've learned, people are always watching
your stuff.
I discussed this with Fonzie on our last episode. So people are always watching and they are waiting to see what you want to come up with. But
you may feel people are not watching, but people
you
are
may
watching.
Feel discouraged. People are watching, people are waiting. They just want you to reach a milestone before they come into your DM.
Starting Love and Cruise, I got DMs from people that I never expected. Like, for them, they may not be big, but I'll be like, this person is big. And for the fact that this person was able to reach out to me like, wow, guy, I love what you're doing. Keep going. That alone is like, wow. So even though I'm not that big, but I'll start feeling big, you get. So definitely, people are seeing what you're doing. Just a matter of time. People are seeing what you're doing.
I feel you. All right, I'm actually grateful for you coming in today, and you just shared so much for us today.
No problem. I'm super excited to be here too. No problem. I appreciate it.
All right, we've come to the end of today's episode on The Entrepreneur's Manual. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, do so, and then we'll see you next time.
Love.